Welcome back, my Duelist friends. Casual Duelist here again. It is Speed Duel Sunday, and as per our die roll yesterday, um, today we are going to be doing the third list on the deck lists bit. So 3 times structures for Shadow Rider Camilla. Now again, this is going to be a deck list where I think this one's going to get better as soon as I unlimit and I stop using just what's in that structure. Because this deck has a lot of potential. But we can also use both of her skills on the same build. So we're going to use the Vampiric Aristocracy, yeah. We are going to use that first, but we are going to go over both skills since they can both be used. Now, they both start as at the start of the duel, flip this over. And the one that we're going to be using is flip this over when you activate. So, Vampiric Aristocracy. Once per duel during the main phase, you may change the name of any zombie vampire monster that you control to Vampire Lord. And again, this is what's going to make it super easy for us to play Vampire Genesis. So I don't feel bad about maximizing him in this deck. And the second effect is going to be a continuous effect. Every Vampire Genesis that you control will gain the following. If this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you may target one card in their graveyard, set it to your field. Monster, spell, trap, it doesn't matter. We can take it all. Now, that said, the other one is going to be at the start of the duel. It is going to be the Delicious Morsel card. And this skill says, during the end phase of a zombie vampire, you control inflict a battle damage to the opponent's life points this turn. Gain life equal to half the total damage your monster's inflicted. So, again, we're going to be playing nothing but vampires, so there's going to be no misreading this. So if we do 2,000 damage to the opponent in a turn, we get 1,000 life. Pretty easy, but you can use both. But in order to complete this challenge, Vampiric Aristocracy is considered the build skill. So, starting with the main deck, or only the main deck, 3 copies Vampire Genesis. Remember, he's going to have that additional effect. Cannot be normal summoned or said. Must be special summoned from the hand by banishing Vampire Lord that you control. Once per turn, discard 1 zombie monster from your graveyard. Target 1 zombie monster in your grave with a level less than the discarded card. Special summon the target. So again, these guys are like 8, 9 stars. Let's find out for 100%. Let's cover up 4. These 8 stars. So you drop one of these, you can basically special summon back any other zombie that was in your deck. And because we can change any vampire zombie monster card into Vampire Lord, we always meet our requirements. Next up, might as well maximize the Vampire Lord, especially since we also have the ability to drop the extra Genesis to spawn these out of the discard pile, except the one that gets banished for summoning requirement. When this one inflicts battle damage to the opponent, declare a card type. The opponent will have to send 1 card of that type from deck to discard. So again, we get to thin out the deck. Lots of fun there. Once per turn during the next standby phase after this in my possession is destroyed and sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you may special summon this from the graveyard. So again, if we run into something like Widespread Ruin, anything like that, Justy Break, still kind of a thing-ish, Vampire Lords will come back. Now, what you could do, and I'm not doing it right now, you can play this in combination with Vampire Curse, because again, a lot of battle traps have been activated now, such as the Wall of Disruption, which kind of do cause it to die, but by battle instead, at which point the Vampire's Curse will come back and actually have an additional 500. So that's okay. 2 low levels where you're going to use a couple copies of Retainer because he's awesome and he looks amazing. If special summoned, you may pay 500. If do, add 1 vampire spell trap from deck to hand. If is in grave, you can send 1 vampire card from hand or face up on field to grave. Special summon but banish when leaves field. Each effect once per turn. And again, he's 1200 attack. That's not terrible. This could be the making of like a game swing. So again, we can apply a lot of pressure in order to go for game. And our last monster we're going to be using today, 3 copies of the Sorcerer. Again, nice low level that we can go ahead and play. Even possession is sent to graveyard by opponent card. And again, doesn't say by effect. It could be by battle. You can add 1 dark vampire monster or 1 vampire spell trap from deck to hand. While this is in a discard pile, you may banish this from the graveyard. 1 dark vampire monster that you normal summon during this turn can be normal summoned without tributes. So again, we can play this, get him into the discard pile. We can normal summon Vampire Lord at no cost. So again, pretty cool, very awesome stuff. And again, if you're going hybrid and you're doing a mix of Lord and Curse because you are using Aristocracy, good move. Like, you could play the other one as well. Spells, I am going to be running 1 Book of Life, not because of any type of limitation or anything, but because I'm running other cards. I do like Book of Life, but it's not always applicable because, again, our opponent may not have anything in their discard yet, and we do need to be able to target a monster card in their graveyard to banish. So if we can't do that, we can't use it. Using 1 copy, Call of the Mummy. Once per turn, we can special summon a zombie if we control no other monsters. So we can start this. We can go right into Vampire Lord, play another character, go into Genesis, do some crazy stuff. It's all good. And then I'm going to run 2 copies of the Vampire Desire. Now, this is a very fun card. Gives us 2 different effects, and we can only activate 1 copy of this spell card per turn. So essentially, it's 1 effect per turn and only once that turn. Effect 1, target a face-up monster that we control. Send 1 vampire from our deck to the graveyard with a different level. If due, targeted monster's level becomes the monster sent to the graveyard until the end of this turn. So why would you do that? Well, maybe we have Retainer, our opponent didn't attack, and we want to go ahead and we want to show Retainer, use Desire, send Sorcerer, banish Sorcerer, and normal summon Vampire Lord to go into Genesis. Because maybe we already used Aristocracy. Maybe. Or target a vampire that's in your graveyard, send a monster that you control to the graveyard. If due, special summon the targeted monster. So again, we're just swapping the monster on the field for a discarded monster card. So again, we can get back our Vampire Lord or any other card we want. So again, it's fun. It's got some use. Just go with it. Next up, we're going to be using 2 copies of the Forceful Checkpoint. This is actually really fun. When the opponent's monster declares an attack, look at their hand. Number 1, we could stop right there. That part of the effect means that we no longer have to guess what they're playing. We no longer have to guess, do they have the combo that will break us? We're going to know. Second off, if there's a monster card in their hand, the attack is negate. And then we get to discard a monster from their hand, and it's our choice. So, again, there's not a lot of hand traps currently in Speed Duel. DD Crow's in here. Karibo's in here. Sphere Karibo's in here. There's a handful. But maybe they're going to be playing the Sacred Beasts like we did yesterday. Maybe we want to take the Sacred Beast out of their hand. I mean, just food for thought. I don't want to face a 4,000 point card if I don't have to. So, Forceful Checkpoint, awesome. We could destabilize their entire strategy, plus get to know their hand. Awesome. And then the remainder of the cards that we're going to be using, 3 copies Vampire Awakening. And again, this is great. Special summon a vampire from the deck, destroyed during the end phase. Only 1 per turn. But again, we have the ability to discard other vampire cards to bring back things like Retainer. So again, having extras of this in the hand is not going to kill us. Second, we can eventually just pull any vampire we want. And then, like, set up plays. We could block an attack. We could set out Vampire Lord because we want to go to Genesis. Guys, the world is your oyster. It is a great card. And again, if we're playing with, like, Curse, we can activate Curse's effects here. It's just got a lot of solid plays here. And again, this is the 3-time structure build. So, if you guys enjoyed this, and I hope that you did, consider supporting the channel. Easiest ways, the most appreciated ways. Like, comment, take the time to maybe subscribe if you haven't. Additionally, if you want to do something more direct, I have a Buy Me a Coffee account. It's in the link. You guys don't got to worry about it if you don't want to. Honestly, the fact that you guys are watching and helping this channel grow is honestly thanks enough. And again, which one do you want to see next? Honestly, I'll probably already have it videotaped by the time that you guys are seeing this. But hey, maybe you guys will get lucky. Yesterday, while I was filming this, somebody actually requested to see this, or it was another one. I want to say it was the Amazonas. And both of those are really great options. But I'm going to do the die roll. I'm going to go 1 to 6 now because I did 2 out of the D8. Now I'm just going to go 1 to 6 left to right based on what's left. Oh, no, guys. We're going to be doing heroes. So, if you guys were hoping for the Supreme King Jaden, there are 2 different builds that we're going to be able to do here. So check them out. And, yeah, see you guys next time. Later.